Altomare with Clarity, and she's going to come up and be our next speaker.
How you guys doing? Hi. Is everybody good? Yes. This is a fabulous day, isn't it? Yeah. It's really amazing to be able to take this time for yourself. And that's what I'm going to talk about today is in the past 16 years that I've been coaching people on how to move through some of the most difficult, traumatic experiences and how to create more of what they want in their life. There are 3 things that most people really, if you want to move beyond being stuck in a part of your life, have to look at and know how to move through. And I'm going to share with you some really powerful tools on how to do that. And these are the 3 things that people really struggle with. Negative emotions. Anybody love negative emotions? Love dealing with them, right? It's probably the #1 thing that we avoid in life. It is the thing that we cover up, that we try to manage, that we go on Facebook to avoid, that we drink alcohol to suppress, that we eat to not have to feel. So negative emotions, we're going to talk about how to really move through them so that they don't run or control your life. The second thing is unresolved experiences. Anybody in this room ever have anything in their life that was difficult that you told the story about more than once? Anybody? Maybe you've used it to define who you are. We're going to talk about that unresolved experience that's still lingering in your body, in your life, how you feel about yourself, in your relationships, in your career, and it's holding you back from going to that next level of evolution for you, whatever that is. And then the third thing is, anybody ever feel not good enough? Some version of, there's something wrong with me, I'm not good enough, I'm not as smart as she is, I don't have what it takes. You look on Facebook and think, how can she do that? All those things at once? Wow, what am I doing wrong? That is the third thing that holds us back from being able to truly create what we want in our life, is listening to that part of us that says, you're not good enough. You can't do it. You don't have what it takes. Why bother? So with that, everything that I do in my coaching practice and in the book Clarity is about going inside. So if you'll join me, just close your eyes and take some slow, deep breaths. And bring all of your awareness 2 inches behind your navel to the center of your body. You might even want to place your hand on your abdomen. And then feel your feet grounding into the earth. Just feel the bottom of your feet. Bring all of your awareness to the arches of your feet. And for a moment, just imagine that there is a thick, there's a thick, white rope of beautiful, powerful, grounding light that is connected from the bottom of your arch all the way around the Earth's circumference. Just picture that beautiful, grounding light pulling you and grounding you into the earth as you breathe into your abdomen. And just notice if you feel any different in your body right now than when I first asked you to close your eyes. Maybe you feel more grounded. Maybe you feel more uneasy. You feel more connected to stuff that's going on within you. Just notice whatever it is that you feel. And as you just allow yourself to be in this moment, identify when was the last time that you closed your eyes, that you took some slow, deep breaths into your abdomen, that you felt yourself grounded into the earth, and that you really connected with yourself. We spend so much of our life looking outside of ourselves. And whenever I take people through different exercises where I guide them to go inside, they don't want to come back. Because once you really start to connect with yourself deeply, it is a place where you can always find peace, clarity, and the answers that you need. So whenever you're ready, if you want to, open your eyes. And that is the first thing that I coach people to do, is to reconnect. It is the first chapter of clarity. The whole entire chapter is devoted to reconnection, because so many of the ways that we're stuck in our life is because we're disconnected. We're disconnected from ourselves, we're disconnected from our feelings, we're disconnected from our spouse, we're disconnected from what our children really need from us instead of what we might be giving them. And the answer to anything that you feel stuck is reconnecting to yourself. Because what happens is you start to understand yourself so well, and to have compassion for why you're responding in your relationship the way you are, or why what your sister-in-law said upset you so much that you've been talking about it for the past 3 months to anybody who would listen, right? Because she triggered something in you that you're not okay with. And it's an opportunity and a gift for you to heal. And the more that you reconnect with yourself, the more you understand what you need to do in those difficult situations in your life to be able to be in a place where you feel so good about who you are that you can respond in a way that feels good to you. So reconnection really is the key to moving through those unresolved experiences. I share a story in Clarity, and it's called the transference box. And if you can imagine that when you were young, this box was smaller than a tiny ring box. And as you've moved through life, all of those unresolved experiences, those negative emotions that you didn't know how to deal with, the deep hurts that you feel, all of those got tucked away in this box simply because you didn't know what to do with them. You didn't know how to deal with what was happening when you were 9 years old and your parents were getting a divorce. You didn't know what to do when your alcoholic father acted out at a party. But what happens is we make these circumstances mean something about us. We tuck it away in this box, and then it's like the hard drive of our life. It runs it. It tells you what you can and can't do. It has you attract certain circumstances to re-trigger that wound in that transference box so you can look at it again and deal with it. And the beauty of doing this inner reflection and gaining this clarity is that you will understand how that event that happened when you were 8 or 10 or maybe 5 years ago, for some of you, you had a fantastic childhood, and it was really what happened 5 years ago that you can't let go of. that you can't seem to move beyond or find the gift in. And as you start to sift through what's in this transference box, what you're transferring from the past into your current circumstances, into your relationships, into how you feel about yourself, into your limitations, into your job, into even the thoughts that you're thinking right now, because everything that you are thinking about what I'm saying is based on what's in your transference box. It's based on your past. It's based on what you've defined yourself to be. And it's so freeing to be able to sift through all of this so that you know what to do in those moments when you don't feel good enough, when you have a negative emotion that just takes over, when you say something that really wasn't aligned with who you are or want to be. And many people say, well, I don't want to deal with negative emotions. I'm just going to focus on the positive. Well, here's the good and the bad news. If you're human, the bad news is you have negative emotions. If you are human, the good news is you have negative emotions. Negative emotions are simply here to guide you. They're messengers. They have invaluable insight. And when you deny that negative emotion, when you cover it up, when you eat over it or drink over it or whatever it is that you do to manage it, you don't get the wisdom of that emotion. So let's say, for example, that you're angry. Anybody in this room ever felt angry? Ever felt that anger just come over you to where you were just nuts? You just said things or did things that weren't you, right? Anybody know that? Mothers, anybody know that feeling of anger? So what do you do with that anger? Give it a voice. Express it. Allow it to be released from your body in a healthy way so that you understand that anger is trying to communicate something to you. Maybe your anger is saying to you, this is not okay. Something has got to change. I shouldn't allow this anymore. And I need to say no, or I need to make some significant change in my life. Wouldn't you want that wisdom? Right? And so many of us cover up that anger. We just keep moving along. Just positive, smile. Everything's fine. I'm good. I've got it all together. And there's this anger just simmering underneath the surface. And so many people walk around life with all of these unresolved emotions. Like Denise was talking about this morning, can you imagine what this world would look like if people knew how to process their emotions? She was talking about forgiveness. If people knew how to forgive, can you imagine what it would be like if people knew how to just be angry in a healthy way and let it go? How to be disappointed, how to be sad, how to be hurt, to not project it onto other people or transfer it. Ever have your spouse come home from work really pissed off and the whole night's just horrible? That person is transferring what happened at work. We all know that feeling. We've done it, right? Person is transferring what happened at work into the home, into everybody in that home. And then it affects what happens in that relationship. You ever do that to your kids? You have a horrible day and they say something and you snap at them in a way that didn't feel good to you, and then you feel guilty. So not only have you suppressed an emotion from earlier that day or 10 years ago that you didn't feel good about, that just erupted on your child, but now you feel guilty that you did that. So now what are you going to do with the guilt? If you don't process that guilt, if you don't understand what that is really here to show you, that goes into your body with everything else, and it's going to come out later. So what do we do with these negative emotions? We honor them. We allow ourselves to feel them and be with them, just like we did when you closed your eyes and you just breathed into your abdomen. You just allow yourself to feel that emotion, and we're going to do that right now. So just close your eyes. Take some slow, deep breaths. And for those of you that are just not looking forward to this moment, of embracing a negative emotion, just know that it is part of being human, and that when you were a baby, you did this perfectly. You knew exactly how to embrace a negative emotion. You cried, you breathed into it, you let it be released from your body. You didn't get in the way of it. You didn't drink over it. You didn't eat over it. You didn't get on Facebook. You didn't put more makeup on. You didn't try to achieve the next goal or get a bigger car. You just allowed the emotion to be present. So just be with that. Breathe into it. And just ask yourself, what negative emotion do I most avoid? Anger, frustration, disappointment, guilt, fear. Which one of those 5 do you most avoid? And just notice where it is in your body. Maybe you feel that anger high up in your chest. Or maybe it's in your throat because you can't express yourself and you're so angry that you can't set a boundary or say what you need to say. Maybe that sadness is in your heart. The disappointment or regret in your stomach. Just notice where you feel that emotion in your body and breathe into it. And just let yourself be with the emotion. Put your hand on that part of your body. Just breathe into it. What is that emotion here to communicate to you? Ask yourself, what are you here to express to me? What are you trying to teach me or get me to see or to know or to do? Maybe that fear is telling you that you need more support. You need to learn more tools to move through something in your business. Just identify, what is the expression? Maybe your anger is telling you to slow down. You're putting too much pressure on yourself. You're being too hard on yourself. And then just allow yourself to see one thing you could do this week in your life to express this emotion in a healthy way. Could you take your anxiety on a walk and gain more insight from that anxiety? Do you need to communicate something to somebody? What's one thing you could do this week to express it in a healthy way? And whatever that is, remember that, write it down, and then open your eyes. That's how simple embracing a negative emotion is. Sometimes it takes a little longer than that, and I share a whole process in Chapter 6 of Clarity called the Emotional Expression Technique that will help you move through any negative emotion that you're feeling, any unresolved experience, or any place that you feel stuck. Maybe you don't even know what emotion you're feeling. You just know that nothing is moving. And you can use the process that I have laid out, but the most important thing to do is to, where we started at the beginning, first reconnect to yourself. And I give you a challenge this week. For the next 7 days, every day, for 4 minutes, put a timer on, just 4 minutes of your life. Close your eyes, take some slow, deep breaths, and ask yourself 2 questions. The first one is, how am I doing? And the second question is, what do I need right now in this moment? Because you simply can't be all of who you are. You can't function at 100% of your potential and give like you want to give. I know there's so many women and men and people in this room that want to contribute and give a huge gift to the world.
You can't give as much if you're not filled up, if you're not connected to yourself, if you don't have what it is that you need. Take 4 minutes every day just for you. No phone, no music, no intention, no to-do list, nothing. Just silence, just connecting with you. And then start to give yourself the gift of identifying what of those 3 things is most getting in your way. Negative emotions, unresolved experiences, or that version of not good enough, or there's something wrong with me. What is holding you back? And then come join me. Pick up a copy of Clarity and do the work to dive into it, because you will feel so much freedom and be able to contribute the gift that you have to this world. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Diane. Let's give her another round of applause. Thank you.